Yo, Sarch14 back with another story time now. The OG subscribers, if you've watched like a lot of the story times, you're gonna have to tell me if I've done this one or not. I mean, I've checked twice on the playlist. There is a playlist of all the story times. This is the 30-second. Ironically or coincidentally, my last 1-4 reaction was also the 30-second 1-4 reaction. This is now the 30-second story time, which is kind of weird that they've come in the space of a week. But yo, so this story, which I'm convinced I've sat down in front of the camera to talk about before, but apparently I haven't. I've checked twice. Yeah, let's just get started. So I used to go to this youth club after school on Fridays in the evening. It was very, very fun. We used to go play some football with my friends from school, people from the local area. Just a fun few hours, just literally just enjoying life. Like, you know when you were like mad young, it was like year 7 times. I think it ran from like year 7 to, I think it's probably technically to year 11 actually, I can't lie. But mainly like early secondary, we went to this youth club. But you've seen the title, so eventually I stopped going to the youth club. But I remember there was one time, like, I don't know how long this story time is going to be. I'm just going to tell the story. I don't imagine this one being awfully long. Pause. But, fam, I remember there was this one time, I swear I must have told the story. But there was this one time I went to the youth club and there was this guy who was in the year below me at school. Now, this guy, like, I never really had an issue with the guy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not really someone who has issues with people like that. Like, I don't really go out my way to cause issues with people. But if you bring problems my way, then I can't really avoid the problems. I mean, you've brought them into my life, so now I have to deal with them. And this was one of those situations. So I remember there was one time where we got into argument. I think this guy tried to literally mock my drip. I mean, it wasn't drip. I'm not gonna lie to you. It wasn't drip. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, if you see my Instagram now, like, I wasn't dressed like that back in the day. So yeah, it wasn't drip, but he was essentially mocking my outfit that day. Which wasn't even anything to be laughed at. I mean, it was just after school club. It's not like it's the Met Gala or anything nuts. I literally had like a red shirt on and some grey shorts and trainers, I think. Like, I literally just dressed to play football, but for some reason, this guy tried to start me about my outfit. And I was like, So I must have replied to him. We must have been going back and forth a little bit. And then, yeah, one thing must have led to the other. And we end up inside the building. So we were outside playing football on the outside. We've now ended up inside the building. And I can't remember. This was ages ago, so that's why the story is going to be quite quick. I just wanted to tell the story because, like, there's just no way I haven't told this story on the channel, and it's been a while. But he ended up back in the building, and this guy must have followed me inside. I can't remember who went inside first. I feel like one of us got sent inside, and then the other one followed. But the point is, we've ended up inside. But quick pause for context. This is how the video will get a little bit longer. But quick pause, because this is important about who was inside, because you've seen the title. So imagine, my mum was a very charitable person. My mum was just a very nice, kind-hearted lady. And some of those genes have passed down. Not all of them, but some of those genes have passed down. So yeah, I try and do the right thing where possible, but as you can tell, this story time is one of those occasions where I was unable to do so. But point is, yeah, because of how kind-hearted my mum is, like, she'll help out if she's got nothing else to do, and people need help, they should go and help out. That's the kind of person she is. So they wanted more volunteers at the club. And club, not the kind of club we'll go to now, but it was literally just after school club, and they needed some volunteers. It was all like volunteer ran, like no one got paid for this. It was ran by the church. They literally set it up just so we'd have someone to play with in the evenings. Literally just so the local kids would have something to do. And so my mum volunteered to help out. So that's important, because on this occasion, my mum said, like, there were different activities to do inside. This was around summertime, so around this time of year, actually. But this must have been like 2015. Yeah, 2015, 2016 times. And so ages ago now. But I remember there were different things you could do inside. So within the building, there would be different stations where you could work. But on this particular night, my mum was in the part of the building that was just by the exit to go outside. Meaning that and she just sat there, I think she was making coffee for people. Like, I can't remember. But all I know is she had her own cup of coffee on the table. You can see where this is going from the title. I don't even know I'm going to title this, but from the title, I'm assuming you can now put 2 and 2 together based on the information you have from the title and from what you've been told in the video itself. But Fam, I'm only even telling this guy. I literally just saw a tweet, and this guy got in a fight on the bus, and his mum and his sister tried to back him, and they all lost the fight. And it just reminded me, 'cause I'm like, yo, how have you seen your mum get pushed over, and you haven't got some sort of power up or something, or like you haven't tapped into some like higher power? Like I don't know how that's not happened to this guy in the video, but point is, happened to me. It happened to me. I'm not gonna lie to you. It happened to me. So me and my man must have ended up inside the building. Like I said, I don't remember who went inside first, but we both ended up inside the building. And yeah, so I must have had my back turned to this guy, and then I turn around and he's right there, and we must have been like, arguing in each other's faces. This guy's then pushed me over the table. But this isn't any sort of table. This is the table my mum was sat at. So first of all, like, you pushed me into my mum, which is nuts. Like, the fact you think that that was a good idea for you in the long run is nuts. Like, it tells me a lot about your mentality that you actually thought that was a good idea. Like, you did not think that through. Like, not just, I'm not even trying to act like I'm some bad man. Like, any rational man, there's just no way you can allow that to slide. So that's one thing. Yeah, that's just if you push me into my mum, it's long for you. But the table he pushed me over had a cup of coffee in it. If you remember, those eagle-eyed listeners out of you remember, like, a minute ago I must have said there was coffee on the table. So I feel like every guy at one point in his life is kind of waiting for that moment where you could just snap on someone. Like, because I'm not going to lie to you, since this day, I don't really think I've had a chance to just snap on someone. But the time will come, hopefully. I can't lie, hopefully the time will come. But this was one day where I got to snap on this guy. So he's pushed me into this table that my mum sat at, and there's coffee on the table. The coffee, boiling hot coffee, yeah, because who drinks coffee when it's cold, yeah? So the boiling hot coffee has spilt on my mother. Yeah, the lady who carried me for 9 months and raised me is now burnt in her lap because of you. Ha! Hey! Hey! Fam, there's just no way he thought he was going to get away with that. Fam, the way I slapped this guy into the next century. Fam, this guy was giving verbal the whole night. I haven't seen someone cry like that since my boy left in year 4. That's probably the last time I saw someone cry that hard. And that was me crying, because that was my brother from primary who left to go to another school. To this day, I've never cried that hard since. That was like year 4 times. Like, my best friend just left one day. And his dad gave me his number to call him. I can't lie, I never called that number. But shout out my boy TM. We stay in touch now. We're actually still boys to this day. And that was the hardest I've ever seen someone cry till that moment. The way this guy was crying could have flooded the whole of central London, fam. The way this guy started crying. And I was even shocked, because I was like, fam, I swear you acted like you were the guy like 2 minutes ago. Like, 10 seconds ago when you pushed me into my mum. Why? Like, what are these waterworks about, man? Like, I'm kind of confused about how you switched from this to that. I mean, you're moving like flipping, like, Moon Knight. You've gone from Mark Spector to Stephen Grant in 2 seconds. Like, that's not normal. I can't lie, that's not normal. So, yeah, and after that happened, yeah, I was a hard slap. I think to this day, that's probably like the hardest, like, bang I've given to someone, and this was like year 8 times. I don't really get in too many fights during secondary. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got in a few, and there's probably, I'll check the playlist. If I haven't told those stories, I'll tell those stories at some point. Got in a few, but I can't lie, this is probably the most vim that I ever packed in an attack on a human being in my life, because in that moment, all I was thinking is, fam, you hurt my mom. You know, most sane people will tell you, like, they'll never, like, actually, like, badly hurt someone unless it's in defense of a few people, like their boy, some people say their dog, or family. It's family. If it's family, I can't lie, I'll never tell someone that they're doing too much if it's family. Like, how you choose to deal with a get back if it's on a family member, that's up to you. I'm not gonna give you advice on that. Like, we're all different people. Like, our situations are all different. If you want to do a madness, I can't lie, I'm not gonna talk you out of it because it's family. This was one of those moments. I was like, my mum, because me and my mum are even close. Like, we're actually close. Even on YouTube, she's been helping me. I'm not gonna lie, like, I couldn't do it without her support. And that's after all this time. This is still when I was, like, even younger. And I was like, yo, my mum. But the story doesn't even end there. You've seen the title. So as I said, I don't even know I'm gonna title this one, but you see in the title, the story doesn't even end there. So after that slap, like I slapped this guy back into the 19th century. Like this guy was watching the origins of football back in the 1890s. That's how hard I slapped this guy. Like he watched Arsenal get founded in 1886. That's how hard I slapped this guy. And he wasn't the only one who saw that. So obviously he's the only one who felt the slap. But everyone else around me could see it. I think my mum even told me off for how hard I slapped the guy. And it was in defense of her. But the other people who are running the club were also watching what was going on. I'm not gonna lie to you, I never went back to the club again. Hey, have you seen that episode of Victorious where they got banned from the golf course? There was an episode of one of those Nickelodeon shows where they got banned from this course and they put their picture up on the wall. That was me. They put my now I'm lying, but literally I got banned from the club after that. I remember they sat me down in a room like an hour later and just said, nah, I can't lie, that's out of order. That's out of order. Which I found nuts, because like it's not like I just decided to just slap this guy out of the blue. Like, it was very much a rational decision to do that. And I can't lie, I'll do it again. Like, Batman, my actions require no defense. In the same situation, I'll do it again. I didn't even think. Like, it just happened. You know, some things just happen. Like, you don't really have any control. You don't even have time to think about it. You've been pushed over into your mum. You turn around and there's coffee, boiling hot coffee on her lap. She's barely trying to push it over. I didn't have time to think. Just slap this guy. So, yeah, and I remember I was like, I'm sure I'm not actually banned. So I must have turned up, like, it was every 2 weeks. I must have turned up 2 weeks later. And they stopped me at the door. They were like, I can't lie, like, a ban means a ban. Like, you're gonna have to make a quick U-turn. So that was very awkward. Because I even invited my boy to the club that time. And he went in and he was like, is this the right one? I was like, yeah. So I was thinking it was calm. I'm even giving them more customers. I'm putting more people on for you. And they still didn't let me in. And that was that. I feel like that was year 8 times. Year 8 was a rough time for me, man. I feel like that's part of the reasoning as to why I think there was just a point in my life where I just stopped caring. I had nothing to lose. Like, I had nothing to lose. I was slapping. It was in a church, by the way. I slapped this guy at the church. I was like, fam, I had nothing to lose at this point. Nothing to lose. So, yeah, and I can't lie. Someone who has nothing to lose is the last person you want to get into problems with, because they have nothing to lose. Like, they will just... It will be long for you. I'm not gonna lie, because there's no like repercussions that they're ever gonna face. They've stopped caring. They've stopped caring about life as a concept. They've given up. All they're thinking about in the here and now is the here and now. They're not thinking about the long term. They've given up on that. So yeah, that guy picked the wrong guy. He picked the wrong guy, man. He picked the wrong guy. But yo, yeah, I just cut. I haven't told a story in time, a very long time. I don't know how I haven't told this one, but yeah, like I said, I just saw a tweet about the situation. It just reminded me. I was like, yo, can't lie, that happened to me. Because one of the quotes was like, fam, how did you not get some sort of power up when you saw your mum on the floor? And I can't lie, like, I turned into the Hulk that day, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I actually turned into the Hulk. Like, to reference Moon Knight again, I let Mark Spector take over and just do the madness. Fam, I was like, yo, can't lie? Nah. So, yeah, man. But yo, I've been Saatchi14. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for the support on the channel lately, by the way. Been reading and replying to as many comments as I can. It's been fun, and I wanted to drop a story time because, like I said, on Twitter, not just a reaction channel, we do all sorts of things, but it's mainly reactions and story times. So if there's no story times, I can't lie, it pretty much is just a reaction channel. But just know that for the newer subscribers out there, that these are videos we do whenever my memory is very weird, because I remember certain things in detail when we're talking about it with family and stuff, and I'm just filling in the gaps of the story that I've never thought about until those conversations. But then there's other times I'm literally sat there trying to think, all right, what can I do for today's story time? And I can't think of anything. But when things come up and when my memories get re-brought up or something triggers a memory, then I'll jump on camera. Because I literally saw the tweet like half an hour ago. I was like, yo, let me just film a story time. I hadn't filmed today. Wanted to film something different from a reaction. So here we are. But yo, thank you very much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. I'll be back again soon.